intention of reviewing this show. And then I saw Courtney and I was like, okay. Well, you got me now, 90 Day Fiancé, don't you? Let's get into it. Courtney is self-quarantining with her porn director. Like, what is this? What is this? I was watching her scenes. It was uncomfortable. I will be honest with you. It was uncomfortable watching her scenes because we don't know if she wants to be there, if she's being held hostage, if she's being drugged. Like, it just looked really sketchy. So I decided to do some digging. He keeps on saying, I came down here to do a photo shoot with period cups. This whole story is crazy. So this guy, the German dude, is allegedly her boss. He has a period cups company. She's a model for it. So she came to his house to do the photo shoot where she's holding period cups. And while she's holding the period cups, during one of the photo shoots, she says to him, babe, how big do you think my vagina is? What is going on? Then she's saying that this guy is just her boss. They're not in a relationship, but he knows the size of your vagina and he brings you breakfast in bed and gives you a kiss and lays there while you eat it. What is going on, Courtney? Is she okay? I didn't think that she was okay in her the last season that we saw her on 90 Day Fiancé. So I don't know what is going on with her. I even reached out to her on Instagram and I was like, sis, are you safe? And she was like, oh yeah, we're fine. I'm okay. I was just like, okay, girl. I hope it's the truth. I don't know what's going on because she's saying that this guy is her boss. He wants to meet her parents. She doesn't want him to meet her parents. And then he gets a little abusive with the camera. And then she's in her confessionals, her, self-quarantine confessionals, telling us that he treats her really badly and she wants to go. She's stuck staying in his place. And I'm like, you can't go to your parents' home and like self-quarantine in the basement or the garage or, somewhere. Like, somebody has to have a room or a space or a basement for you to self-quarantine until it's decided that you're safe to be around. You don't have to be in this situation. Something is not adding up. I don't know if she's scamming or if this is the real deal because I went to her Instagram, both of their Instagrams. They're on each other's Instagram like a couple. And she's saying that everything is okay. I don't know if she's responding or if it's him responding. I don't know. I feel like at some point, TLC has to go over there with the police, probably the FBI, and, check that space and make sure that everything is okay with her because something is not adding up. Like, seriously, I need to know if she's being held hostage or if she's scamming. I would prefer her to be scamming, to be quite honest with you, because the latter, I don't want that for her. I don't want that for her. Their whole little setup is really creepy. But would you ask your captor how big your vagina is? Something not right. Something is not right. Okay, I think I've made a decision on this couple. He's her sugar daddy. I think that she wants to be with somebody a bit more attractive. We're being real here, right? I think she wants that. But I think this is what she can get. And he has money. So she is taking his money, probably for sexual favors, and then going and telling people that he's her boss. Or is he her pimp? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I was just like, he could be her sugar daddy. And then I'm like, is he her pimp? Lord, that could also be a possibility. It may just be sugar daddy. But I think this sugar daddy wants some sugar and a bit more. I think he wants to be in a whole relationship with her. And I think because he's probably not as attractive as her last boyfriend, she doesn't want to let us know that she's in a real relationship with this dude. Or maybe she just wants somebody hotter and is falling for this guy and doesn't want to fall for him. Because that happens as well. Sometimes you fall in love with a tender-eyed man and that's okay. But she has to make this relationship clear because he's coming off really creepy. Speaking of creepy, get into this Facetune. I said, oh baby, we are all over that Facetune app on his Instagram. My God, today, every picture of him is just like blurred out. He done blurred out under the eyes. He blurred out the forehead. gave himself a little pointier nose. This couple is creepy and weird and great for TV. As long as she's safe. As long as she's safe, I want to see more of this mess. Danielle, I hate to say it, but I felt like I could smell her apartment through the TV. It was just so a perfect place for Miss Rona to reside. It was so filthy. It was so filthy and just, it looked musty, and I just felt so bad because I know homeboy said that she had a smell, but I'm like, Danielle, I believe him. I believe him based off of this apartment. And why is she struggling to pay her bills before COVID? Before Miss Lorona came in and savaged the world, before that happened, she said that she was, struggling to pay bills. And I'm like, you got 3 adults and a teenager. A teenager can bring in a little check. Why are you struggling to pay bills? It looked like y'all live in a 2-bedroom home. Or is it a home or apartment? I'm thinking they living in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom, a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. With all of these adults and a playground's worth full of children. Oh my gosh. Whew, I just thought about their bathroom. Oh my gosh, Danielle, oh gosh. Oh, wait a minute. The daughter-in-law is pregnant. They're bringing another life into that chaotic situation. Oh no. Where is CPS? All jokes aside, I do feel bad for her daughter, her teenage daughter, who is basically going to have a graduation online. And it seems like she's been working very, very hard to finish out the school year strong. And it's unfortunate that, she's going to have a online graduation. I already know somebody going through that process and they are really disappointed. They're just like, I work so hard. I want to walk. I want to have a party. Like, it's unfortunate. I hope when all of this is over, we do have something for the graduates. I mean, it could be a huge graduation party or something, but I think that all schools need to do something for their students, especially the ones who have been putting in the work for this moment. Elizabeth and Andre, Lord, I know that this quarantine is getting to me because, baby, when Andre was making them eggs in the kitchen, I was like, I wouldn't mind walking in on that. Like, I could not stand Andre. But in these scenes, in them kitchen shirtless scenes with basketball shorts, I said, okay, I see you, Lord, help me. Help me. I have never looked at Andre like that. But, when you're locked up in a house for a month, anything will look good to you. Did you guys see it? That wide back, Lord. I will say this, though. Andre was going to the store for like food and supplies. Why did she have to go with him and the baby? I don't know about y'all, but I was just like, is he cheating? Because why can't he go to the store without you and the baby, especially when it's a virus that is ravaging the world right now? And it's not safe for anybody to really leave. You really have to only leave for emergencies. Like, an emergency is food. You know what I mean? Like food and supplies. Those kind of essential needs. Why do you and the baby have to go? Now, do you have to go because you want to get out of the house? I understand that. It's not smart, especially with a, very small child. It's not a smart thing to do. So why are you risking your life and your baby's life to go with him to the market? Is he cheating, sis? Because that, to me, is the move of somebody who was in a relationship with a cheater. I don't know. Did y'all see that? Or am I seeing too much? I could be. But I'm like, you wrapping up your baby to go and sit in a car while he's in the market. Why? If you're going to go all that far, go in. Walk around the parking lot with the baby or something. It would have made sense if she was just like, I just want to get out, I want to see, something besides, my neighborhood and my home. I want to see something else, and I want to, get out with the baby and have the baby ride in the car with Andre. Not go in because it's not safe, but I just want to ride with him. None of that was mentioned. But as soon as he got dressed to start going to the market, she got herself dressed, and that baby dressed and was just like, here we come too. So I was just like, ooh, he can't go nowhere by himself. Do he got to go to the bathroom with the door open? What's going on in that house, Elizabeth? What's going on? Listen, if you don't want him, send him my way. Help me. Help me. Hey guys, let's get right into it. Molly, The absolute ignorance to not learn how to do your 9-year-old daughter's hair, that you had to resort to cutting it off, squirting some cream into this little girl's hair and just rubbing it. I was like, what are you doing to that baby's hair, that poor kid? I get that you have a child who has different hair than you, who has a different texture, and you're not quite sure how to work with her hair. I totally understand that if you're dealing with a toddler. Your daughter is 9 years old. You had 9 years to learn how to do her hair. Instead of learning how to take care of your own child's hair, you're like, oh, I'll send it to the shop. Listen, I understand that. I can't braid. I'm going to send my, kids to my sister if I want them to get some braids, or send them to a hair salon as well. I totally get that right, but I could do a ponytail. I could do a twist out. You know what I mean? Like, I know what products to use. I know how to take care of my kids' hair. I just can't braid. Forgive me. Forgive me, ancestors. I just can't braid. I'll learn, because if I'm dragging Molly, I gotta learn too. But I ain't got no kids right now. You had 9 years with this child, 9 years, and you just refused to learn how to do her hair. So instead, you chop off her hair and have your baby walking around looking like it's Pat. That was your choice? There's YouTube. Do you got any black girlfriends? Who was your client with the big titties? You could have asked her. Listen, while I'm over here making your bra, congratulations on your weight loss. I got a black child. I don't know how to do her hair. Can you help me? You can't reach out to nobody. What's up with the daddy? Is he no longer in her life? Even if he's not in the kid's life, he got family members. Send her to a cousin. Something. You can't even do that because of the virus, but I was so upset when we opened with Molly saying, oh, because I can't send her to the salon, I just had to chop off her hair. And that was okay. And then we look at this baby. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Pat. This is how you got your child looking. That poor baby was sick of her. That little girl. When Molly was driving, first of all, Molly is driving while also trying to park and also filming herself on her camera. I'm like, Molly don't have no kind of common sense, but she has a whole business. How, Lord? How? She has no sense. I'm like, you're driving, filming yourself, and talking to your child who looks like she's in fear for her life. Poor baby. When Molly started crying, she was just like, you don't have to cry every time. And she was just like, I'm sorry. I have my emotions. I wear them on my sleeve. I'm just really sad. And her daughter's just like she rolled her eyes so hard, I thought they were going to fall out of her head. She was disgusted. She's sick of her mama. Probably after she chopped off her hair, that was probably her breaking point. Poor baby. I was like, you cut this kid's hair because you don't know how to do it? What kind of ignorance? There's no excuse. No excuse. Does Molly have arthritis in her hands? Then I'm like, okay, I get it. But something is up. And the baby don't even know how to do her hair. Did you know how to do your hair at 9 years old? I could get myself a ponytail. That was it. Poor thing. Poor thing. Poor thing. So Molly and her daughter safely parked. I don't know how that happened. And they walk into her shop with her bestie. And they are working on making, masks now because, the clientele has dropped down because not everybody needs a bra right now because, we're not wearing them. It is what it is. Women are not wearing bras right now. Understandable. So they have now turned their business into making masks. Very smart. However, Molly and her bestie don't live together. So your bestie is coming from her home. Lord knows where she stopped. Lord knows who she came in contact with. And she's coming here to make masks. You, Molly, Lord knows where you stopped at. Lord knows who you've been around, are coming into this shop to work with her, and you're bringing your child whose hair you just chopped off. I'm never letting that go. I'm never letting that go. So you're bringing your child into the situation, and you guys are making masks for the COVID pandemic that we are all living in right now. Nobody in this shop is social distancing, and nobody is wearing a mask. So I'm like, what's the point? What is the point? How are you this dense, mama? How? Listen, shout out to their client, Maui or May. Good on you, girl. Good on you. Continue to drop that weight so you can live your best life. I am not commenting on this consultation. What I will say is that May or Maui, she better than me, because they said one too many wows for me. I would have been like, okay, I've done the work. I've lost the weight. Thank you. Like, one wow is enough. They were like, wow, ow, wow, turn around, wow, oh my goodness. I was just like, I would have been like, well, damn, how big was I? They were just amazed. And I'm like, you gotta have some tact, especially about weight loss. You know what I mean? Because that's what a lot of people hear, especially when you lose weight. Oh, you look so much better now. Thanks. So I was hideous when I had a couple of pounds on me. Thanks a lot. You really got to watch how you talk to people concerning weight loss or any like kind of physical things that they have done to their body that you think have improved them. You know, you just got it. That's a really thin line, but they just gave me one too many wows. Wow. Oh, turn around again. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's like, okay. So we're getting calls from Jorge in prison. Let me tell you something. The devil works hard, but TLC works harder. I'm like, wow. We got a whole catch up from Jorge in prison while self-quarantining. Like, wait a minute, TLC. What kind of coins you got? Anyway, we get an update from Jorge in prison. He has, lost a lot of weight. He's actually about to get out. This is something really interesting that he said. He talked about how he's already been self-isolating in prison. And he was just like, I'm so excited to finally get out. And to get out and still basically have to self-isolate, that's something that's going to be really hard for me to deal with. I thought that was really interesting. Like, man, you were in prison and you waited all this time now to finally get your freedoms, and you get your freedoms and they're limited again. So it's in a sense like you're kind of still in that same kind of prison. Wow. I hope he handles that well. I really, really do. He seems like he's handling prison well. He made a friend. That friend is his personal trainer. He's lost over 100 pounds. He looks good. He looks older. That's one thing about weight loss. Because you have so much fat on your body, it looks like you got a lot of collagen in your face. That's the thing. You start to look older when you start to lose collagen, because that's what happens. You start to lose like the plumpness in your face. And when that plumpness in his face left him, I'm like, oh, Jorge looks like he has aged a decade in prison. He went from looking like a really, young, youthful, a rose-cheeked teenager to like a middle-aged dad, like the span of a year or so in prison. And I'm like, wow, he looks different. But I'm glad that he's getting out. I'm also glad that he's over in Fisa. I did not know that they were still married, and she is openly pursuing this relationship with another man online. Like, her new boyfriend is all over her Instagram, and I forgot that they were actually still married. But he said that when he gets out, he is going to, file for divorce, and he is going to be done with her. It's sad that it took prison for him to come to his senses, because he really did sound like he was over Anfisa and he was not going to go back to her. He said that while he was in prison, he realized that she just wasn't good for him, because as soon as he went in, she stopped talking to him. I think he said it took about 2 months for her to completely stop, corresponding with him. And when he would call her, she would block his calls. And I think after a while of that, a year or so of that, he finally just, realized that she doesn't love him. She never did, and he's actually done. And when he gets out, he's going to file for divorce. I hope that he keeps his word. I think he will. He sounded really different, guys. He sounded really different, mature, like, not just in looks, right? In mind as well. I think he just really has some time to just think over everything and realize that his life, like, he doesn't want to go back to that when he leaves. So I'm hoping for the best for Jorge. I always thought he was a good guy. I think he just, got caught up in trying to live a lifestyle and trying to keep a certain kind of woman, and it just went really bad for him. So I really hope and pray that he has the latter years of his life is a lot better than, you know, his past. So keep Jorge in your prayers, and me, because I am still lusting over Andre. Jesus, forgive me, Lord. Forgive me. But that back. Whew. Matt and Alla. I don't remember this couple. If you know anything about them, answer this question for me. Because Matt has been self-quarantining for 18 days. It's only supposed to be about 2 weeks, but his wife did not want to let him back into the home. And I'm just like, does she not want to let him back in the home because she's trying to protect herself and her unborn child? Or did she just really want some time away from this guy? I don't remember this couple. I think I checked out of 90 Day Fiancé when they came on, or I came in after them. Like, I am not sure. I don't remember them. So I don't know if she really wants him to self-quarantine, or she just does not want him to be around her. Like, you know, is she sick of him, or is she concerned that he may be sick? What is the answer? Who knows enough about this couple to give me the tea? Let's chat about it. We'll say this though. I understand her concerns concerning him and La Rona, because he walks in the home, doesn't wipe anything down, and the first thing that he does is hug her. Because he would not have changed his clothes if she didn't suggest that and give him clothes to change into. He comes in, doesn't bathe, doesn't wipe anything down, doesn't wash his hands, hugs his pregnant wife, and then goes upstairs to the nursery. So anything he had, he done passed all over this house at this point. So I understand if she does love this man. If this is like a happy couple, I do get why she was just like, you got to self-quarantine, because her man is not the cleanest. Like, there's a whole pandemic going on. You just come in and just hug your pregnant wife. I would have been like, wait a minute, let me bathe. Let me wash this off. Let me wash my hands. And then he just walked in and was like, hey, I missed you. Child, listen, I pray they're safe. Sasha and Emily, listen, I feel like their child is one of the Incredibles, because how is he a 6-year-old at this point? We just saw him be born. He is like 6 years old, lifting up the TV and the tables in the home. I'm like, this baby is huge, and nobody is mentioning it. I'm like, guys, we remember when that kid was born. We remember it was on the last season. How are we here with him? I feel like when the show finally comes back and we see Sasha and Emily on the next season, I feel like this kid is probably going to be going to college, and nobody's going to bat an eye, because it just makes sense for this child. And of course, Little Incredible's toy of choice are 5-pound weights. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? When he comes back next season, he'll be bench pressing his daddy. Oh, and their house is chaotic. It's not, you know, filthy like Danielle's. It's just chaotic. There's so much going on. Watching their scenes, my chest, like, I just felt like my chest closing in. It was making me feel some kind of way. Like Danielle's apartment, no shade, Danielle, you're a sweetheart, but that house was filthy. I got a little nauseous. Their apartment, I felt like I was going to pass out. Like, it was a lot going on in there. And you know what? Men will lose everything but the audacity, because even in a pandemic, Sasha is still concerned about Ashley's weight. Still, you know, making sure that she doesn't gain any more weight and lose the weight that she has gained. And I'm like, we're in an apocalypse. You're worried about how she looks in sweats? Boy, bye. Alan, is 36. Okay. And he's still married to that supermodel. Sis, what's going on? You were supposed to flip this bag. How are you still in this situation? When I saw her, I was like, we haven't gone into modeling. The last time I talked about this couple, I told her, before Victoria's Secret shuts down, you need to get a contract with them. What did she do? Get pregnant by Alan? Y'all don't listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You are a beautiful woman married to a man that does harmonica hip hop in his downtime. Girl, no. Girl, no. No. Listen, she's staying right in Brazil. She was just like, listen, you might think I come from a third world country, but they ain't got the Rona. I'm not coming there. He was like, maybe you can come back. And she's just like, no, I'm not going to cut my trip short. I'm not coming back there no time soon. Like, who is in a rush to get back to a pandemic and listen to your husband play the harmonica? No, not me. Not me. So I don't blame her. So Alan put a box of gloves in his luggage, and somebody, maybe a TSA or the people who unload the plane, whatever happened from the time that he left that with, you know, a gate agent and picked up his bag, his gloves were gone. Listen, if you are traveling with anything that's valuable to you, never put it in a checked bag. You will get robbed. That's the end of the story. You will get robbed. Do not ever in your life put anything valuable in a check bag. Put it in your carry-on. I never put anything that I will miss in my check luggage. No, not at all. Shoes, jewelry, garments. If it's something really nice and expensive and something that I will feel a sort of way about losing, carry on. Never. They always go through your stuff and they always rob you. You will get robbed every time. That's why the airline always encourages for you to get insurance, because they know that their employees are going to rob you. I'm telling you, I know someone. Child, I'm from Philly, it happens. I know someone who that was how they made a living, robbing people at the at Southwest. Child, a mess. And I'm only still in contact with them because, they're a family member. Listen, what you gonna do? We all got sketchy people in our family. Anyway, that's it for me. That's all I wanted to talk about. What did you guys think of this? These last 2 episodes? Let's talk about it in the comments section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next Monday for the following episode of 90 Day Fiance Self-Quarantine. Are you guys interested in 90 Day Fiance? What now? It used to come online on TLC, I think because a lot of their shows have halted production. So if it's going to be a huge void in TLC until this thing is over, I think now they're putting a lot of their shows that they only streamed online, I think they're starting to put them on the actual channel because they got a lot of space to fill. If you guys are interested in that show and would like me to review it, let a sister know in the comment section below, because I am watching it. I'm just not reviewing it. I wasn't going to review 90 Day Fiance Self-Quarantine, and then I saw Courtney and I was like, oh, we got to talk about this girl. So let me know if that's something that you want me to review as well. And if I have time, I will definitely do it because, I watch it. Anyway, that's it for me. See you guys soon. Love you. Thanks for stopping by.